Scott, thanks for joining us. It seems like a long time since we've been in action, but finally we're back at the Broadfield Stadium this Saturday as we face Notts County. What are your thoughts ahead of that one?
Yeah, really looking forward to it. Obviously, we've been feels like an age, doesn't it, since we played last, and obviously the team has had some new faces added, so we'll probably look a little bit different on Saturday. But a game I'm really looking forward to. I'm really excited to be back at home in front of the home fans, and I'm sure with the business that we've done so far that the fans will be really boisterous, and I'm really looking forward to that.
Yeah, you said just before January that fans could probably expect, 3 or 4 signings. We're now up to 8 signings. Obviously, it's great to see us getting business done early. How important for you was that we got it done so early?
Yeah, really important. There's a lot of work had gone on kind of in the background to make that happen. There was obviously conversations going on well before January and a lot of meetings, and I feel, when I look at where we are in the table and what the team have done so far, we just haven't done enough, and change is needed, and that's the harsh reality of football sometimes. And whilst I have to make really harsh decisions, and sometimes people don't realise how hard them decisions are, I've had to make them, and the club, the team will be better for it in the long run. There might be a few disgruntled faces to start with, but that's the way it's got to be. And sometimes you have to be ruthless, and in order for us to look better and be better.
Yeah, we'll talk about the obvious ones, obviously a little bit more in depth. But in terms of how we've recruited, we've got a lot of experience in there. There's some, more experienced pros in there. How important was that in the recruitment strategy?
Yeah, I think so, and I think that I look at the stature of some of the players we've brought in. There's the powerful boys, they can run, and one thing that I think that we haven't done well is we haven't ran as well as we have done in successful campaigns before. The data's down and certain aspects of our game's down, and we needed to improve that. And I think by recruiting what we have recruited, I think that we will definitely see an uprising in kind of running data, and there's some powerful boys in there now, and that's what we need.
Yeah, as you say, a mixture of some experienced players, but we've also got some sort of younger live-wires. Obviously, Louis Copley coming in from Arsenal, Johnny Russell at Lively in his debut away at Cheltenham. How important is it to have a mix of those? Because obviously you want some people that have got that experience, but you also want some people that are determined to break through as well.
Yeah, I definitely think so. I think that the blend and the mix, or whatever you want to call it, is important. You can't just go and sign, 7 or 8, 30-year-olds. I don't think that works. Whilst I think you only have to probably be 22 now to be experienced. If you got clocked up over 100 games in the Football League now, that will class as experience now. But like you say, obviously Johnny's come in. He's got so much about him. He's not like a young man. In many ways he's got a lot about him, and he really kind of wants the ball, and he'll run and he'll tackle. He's got a little bit of edge to him, which I like. Louis Copley today in training was outstanding. Really been impressed with him. Thrown in to start with, obviously played Tottenham in a bounce game at the weekend. He was thrown into that, and kind of was difficult for him, but certainly since the days have gone on, I've been more and more impressed with him, and looks a really good footballer and will be a very good footballer.
Yeah, amongst the 8 new signings, we're obviously so glad to see Danilo, Orsi and Klaidi Lolos back at the club. Just looking back at that season that we had with them, seeing the fans' reaction, it almost makes it, worth it already, isn't it, without them even stepping onto the pitch?
Yeah, I think we sat down as me and the chairman and heard him, and we discussed it. And this season's been a big disappointment in many ways. I know we're only halfway through it, but we're disappointed with what we've done, and we just wanted a different feeling for this new year. And we spoke about it. I mean, don't get me wrong, I was talking about certain players, and Lolos and Orsi was certainly in amongst them, about kind of summer targets in the summer we were looking at, but probably couldn't do it then. And of course there was the takeover happening, and it was a window that was kind of cobbled together a little bit, more so than this window. I think we feel as if we've got a system in place now that works smoother and better. Now obviously Raf's in, and he's full steam ahead sort of thing, and I've got to be grateful for a chairman who's really supported me regarding that. You know, and the players that we've brought in have been top class. And yeah, listen, with what Orsi and Lolos did, especially, and hopefully there'll be more coming in who the fans can relate to. And we just wanted that feel-good factor again. We just wanted the fans to relate to the players. We didn't think that was the case this season. Of course, we haven't done well enough for them to relate, and we didn't like that, and we wanted it to feel different. So we were mindful of that, and hopefully that will be the case moving forward, and we can make it feel a better place. But of course, we've still got a big challenge in front of us in the shape of Notts County. We can't get away from that. We can't get deluded by the fact, we signed all these players, we're going to win. Obviously, we want that, but we can't get carried away with it and expect that. We've got to make sure that we turn up and we do everything proper in order for us to get anywhere near Notts County, because they're obviously doing a really good job themselves this season. So, but yeah, I'm delighted with what we've done, and I'm really grateful for the support that's been shown by the chairman, and I'm really grateful to have somebody like Erdim who's worked so hard to make these players come in, make it happen, and I'm grateful for the players to say yes, they want to come back, which is fantastic.
How have the players responded post Cheltenham?
I think there was harsh words from himself after the game. I think we live in a world where there's so many voices, and a lot of people have a platform to speak, and a lot of people have a platform to comment, and with social media and the way kind of life is nowadays. And football managers don't usually tell the truth, if the truth be known. They kind of skirt around things and dust over things and make sure that everyone's happy and try and keep the supporters on side, and then try and keep the players on side. And that's kind of how it's been and how it probably will remain. I think there's sometimes you have to tell the truth. And I got to the point where I didn't think the players were doing enough, and I spoke candidly, and I will apologise to absolutely nobody about that, because sometimes I have to be honest, and I don't think certain players did do enough, and I had to make change, and that's what I've done. Unfortunately, there'll be some disgruntled, characters there. So be it. I didn't think they did enough. I didn't think they did enough for the badge, for the club. So I had to make change, and that's what I've done. And listen, I get paid to make them decisions, and that's what I've had to do. So what's the squad been like? I think the squad's been a bit indifferent, because some have been unhappy because the writing's on the wall, and some have been delighted because of the new faces that have come in. So at the moment, it's probably going to be worse before it gets better. But once we get settled, we'll be absolutely flying.
And it was announced today that the two youngsters, Coty and Robertson, have gone out on loan to Whitehawk. How valuable will that experience be for them in the long run? Yeah,
brilliant. Both of them have trained so well throughout the season. Been involved in a few games as well, obviously in the little cup games that we had, and got to say that they were both brilliant at the weekend. We played like a bounce game at Tottenham behind closed doors, and they were fantastic in the game. I'm really proud of them, and they're good lads as well. They just turn up every day on time, and they work hard. They do little jobs around the building for the older pros and that. They're good lads, and I'm so pleased for them to get some valuable experience playing in men's football. So they'll only be better for that.
And obviously we've had a lot of incomings, might be more. Can we assume that there'll be some more departures as well in the coming days, weeks?
Yeah, I think so. I think there probably has to be, because we only train on one pitch. This morning, I think we had 30 players, outfield players, training. So obviously, if I'm doing an 11v11, almost becomes impossible. There's going to be 10 players standing on the sideline, so we've had to stagger training. So there's been a group train before another group. It might have to be that way for a period of time. But like I say, the writing's on the wall for certain players, and I've had meetings with players and been completely honest and open. So yeah, I think you'll more than likely see some departures as well.
And Nick Cerulas will be back on the weekend with Notts.
Shame we
County.
didn't sign him as well, isn't it?
How nice would it be to see him back?
Yeah, great. Nick's a great lad. Fan favourite. They'll hopefully sing his song anyway. But yeah, great lad. I love Nick. He was brilliant for us. And yeah, let's hope he has a quiet game.
Thank you.
Just talking of departures, we had Joy leave this week
Yes.
and Kyle Scott as well.
Yeah.
Just a word on both of those. With Joy, obviously, he played a huge part in that promotion season. And Kyle Scott, why didn't it quite work out for him here, do you think?
Yeah, I think firstly with Joy, great lad, signed him from non-league, kind of come through the ranks, Topman, and didn't work out, and then went into non-league. We signed him from non-league. He definitely improved under the years that he was with us, and found it hard probably to really nail down a starting place in the team. Great lad, fantastic move for him to Yeovil. Really brilliant move. I think they're going to be a team that try and dominate possession by all accounts. So it will really suit him because he's had that education over the last 2 years, 3 years, whatever it's been since he's been with us. So he's educated in that manner now, and he'll go there and be brilliant for them. So I wish him all the best. Great kid as well. Really enjoyed working with him. Carl Scott, when he first signed, we played Portsmouth behind closed doors. He was the best player on the pitch, and then we played Crystal Palace out here, and he was one of the best players on the pitch. And you're thinking, wow, we've signed something here, and he is capable of that. And unfortunately, he didn't reach them standards when we played in the league. For whatever reason, it kind of didn't happen for him. I think that he missed America. I believe he had a girlfriend still that he was in contact with. And of course, he lived on the West Coast, so she was getting out of bed at probably around 5, 6 o'clock in the afternoon here. She was going to work, then coming back, and then wanted to probably spend hours on the phone or on a Zoom call with him just to obviously connect. And so he kind of understood it was difficult for him, and then maybe he wasn't getting enough sleep to then come in and perform in training and then perform in the game. So kind of felt for him, really. I don't think it was probably the move that we all wished for. So he's gone back to America, and we wish him all the best. It just didn't. Listen, it sometimes works. We obviously saw it with Jeremy Kelly come across, and he had an amazing time, didn't he? And then it just didn't work for Kyle. And sometimes it happens. You can't get them all right. And we wish him all the best and hope that they're happy in what they do next. But yeah, it's just unfortunate.
Yeah, and if you could pick Las Vegas or Crawley now, what would you pick?
Oh, Crawley all day long.
A couple of yourself. I think Dion mentioned it in an interview, and I think Danny did in his return interview about Doncaster and the run they had in that promotion season. Obviously, there's comparisons to have there. I did the maths this morning. They got 43 points in their last 21 games that season. That's possible, yeah, with the team you've assembled.
Yeah, everything's possible. We saw even. I'm trying to work out how many games I think it was 9 games I had when I come back last season. I think the team had won 7 all season, and I won 5 out of the last 9. Do you know what I mean? So you sometimes think, well, the team have won 4. We've won 4 games all season. Like, it means nothing. What's happened has happened. It's kind of going to look a lot different now, in my opinion, with what we've signed. And anything's possible. Do you know what I mean? Like, we're going to try and win every game. Will we win every game? Probably not. But there's always an hope that we're gonna do that Doncaster run.
Yeah,
that's what you got to hope for. Do you know what I mean? And there's no reason why we can't with what we've signed. And listen, we can all kind of have pie in the sky, and we can all have kind of hopes and aspirations to look at the stars or shoot for the stars and probably land a little bit lower than that. But the main aim is to not get relegated at this stage. Let's not get away from that. We are in the trenches a little bit now, and we've got to get away from there, and we've got to get away from there really quickly.
Yeah, and finally, one of my favourite nights of that promotion winning season was when you beat Notts County 2-1 here. It was a really good atmosphere. I think Addy scored the winner, came on as a sub, scored the winner. That's the kind of atmosphere you want on Saturday, isn't it? You want that kind of...
Yeah, I think kind of the last game we played was obviously Cheltenham away, and I come away from there really downbeat and disgruntled. And I know my interview I said what I said, and I stand by what I say. Like I said, and it was needed to be said, in my opinion. And you come away from there thinking, right, where do we go from here? And here we are now, 2 weeks later, and ready to go again. And I feel different already. I feel different, and I think the group feel different. The players feel different. The staff feel different. We're going into this game with a lot of hope now, and because of who we've signed, certainly in Klaidi and Orsi, that the fans are going to be up to seeing them run back out there in a Crawley shirt, and I think I'm really looking forward to seeing that. I'm really looking forward to the fans feeling something good about this season, and the fact that 2 heroes from Wembley have come back is a real positive, and I think that it's going to have a different feeling, I think, in the stadium on Saturday than what it has been.
Brilliant, thanks, Scott. Good luck Saturday.
Dan, thanks for joining us. Your first week back in the building as a Crawley player. How's it been?
Yeah, really good. Really enjoyed it. Nice to see familiar faces. Nice to see a lot of the new boys and see what they're about, and just really excited for this weekend now.
Yeah, what was training like? How was the sort of standard?
Yeah, good. Obviously, the gaffer told me about like the quality we had in the team, and kind of it's not as bad as probably what it looks like the table shows at the moment. So to come in and see that firsthand and see the quality that some of these boys have got, and probably just needs a bit of the atmosphere just needs a bit of a lift now, and hopefully we can take that into the game on Saturday.
Yeah, as you say, the atmosphere is certainly going to get a lift. Obviously, people are going to enjoy seeing the likes of yourself and Clyde, and obviously we've got a lot of new faces as well. Is that what you think we need at the moment, just on the basis of the results that we've been getting? We need a sort of boosted atmosphere to try and help push the players over the line? Yeah,
definitely. I think I've also been in change rooms before where new faces come in and you're in a bit of a tough spot, and it kind of lifts everyone, and almost might make positions like you've got to fight harder for your place in the team now, and also it just gives the team something else, a different look to it, and I think we're certainly going to have that with the amount of signings we've made.
Yeah, it's 8 signings now to date already, and we're only halfway through January, which is pretty crazy. It's almost been like a summer window. Do you think that's going to present any challenges, or have all the lads that have come in so fast settled in quite quickly?
Yeah, I think, again, it's probably easier for like the likes of me, Clyde, who've come back to a club where you kind of know what's expected of you, you know how the gaffer works and the way he wants to play, and for the new boys, it's about them just hitting the ground running in January. And again, we've been there as players before. January move's probably a bit more difficult than the summer move, like you said. But I think the main thing is we just start getting points on the board and kind of start picking up the wins to get us out of the position we're in at the moment.
Cool. I know you're on social media. Did you see all the reaction when you signed? You must be delighted to see what the fans were saying about it.
Yeah, it was fantastic. It was to feel that kind of love and just the expectation now to come back to this football club and help get it out of the position it's in was massive for me, and one of the reasons why I wanted to come back. Again, we spoke about enough times about how good they were with me the year I was here, and it kind of gave me that confidence to go and play the way I did, because I knew I always had their support, the manager's support, and we had a great team at the time. But now we're coming back, we've got to lift the team up, get them out of the position they're in, and they're going to be a massive part of that on Saturday.
And do you, obviously you just used the word expectation there, do you feel like there's a lot of pressure on you, but I assume you relish that kind of thing, do you?
Yeah, I think as my dad said to me the other day, he said, is Saturday the biggest game you've played for Crawley? And at first I thought, well, no, it was probably the Wembley one or the two semi-finals. But no, I think to a degree it is now. I think us boys who are returning, we've got to hit the ground running now. We haven't got time to kind of wait to bed ourselves in because of the position we're in. So again, it's saying as footballers, you want that pressure. I seem to thrive under that pressure, and I'm sure Clyde and other players will as well, because that's why you play football at the end of the day. You don't want it to be easy. You want to go out there and fight and compete, and we're all really competitive people and we want to win.
Yeah, and we speaking just beforehand, you said it's the first time you've known you were starting without the manager telling you, because an interview I did with Scott, he told me you were starting. That must be pretty pleasing to know that you're going to go straight in and hit the ground.
Yeah, definitely, to know obviously you're going to go into the side and play, and I think the main thing is just going out there and doing what the gaffer wants. He's so particular with his game plan and the way he wants to set us up, and we've just got to make sure myself and the other 10 boys out on the pitch are doing the exact same thing, because again, we've seen what he can do when we get it right, and it's up to me and other players like Clyde and Jay who've played with him now for a long period of time to make sure the other boys are doing exactly what we need to do to get 3 points.
And and you were like the PFA champion, I think, community champion when you were here last time. Are you looking forward to getting involved with that side of things with the community foundation again, with like
Yeah,
Darren Ford?
I
and
actually just bumped into Darren when I walked in. Yeah, and we were just having a quick chat about it. And again, I said to him, like, if you need any help with anything, just give me a shout. I'm only up the road now, so I'm more than happy to help. And like I've said in other interviews, I was that boy looking up to players who played for like a team I supported growing up, and obviously to give a bit back to the community and kind of help out where I can. Like, I'm more than happy to.
Yeah, and just finally from me, obviously you said on your return you didn't really want to leave in the first time. How difficult a period was that for you?
Yeah. It was obviously with what we achieved, that group, you wanted to stay together because of the bonds we had and kind of that cohesion where you thought we could carry this on into the following season, which I think a lot of teams who get promoted try to keep that core together. But again, once you know it's not going to happen, you've kind of got to get your head down and get on with it almost. That's life to a degree, and has a funny way of working out, and here we are again. So, no, I'm really happy.
Good luck Saturday.
Cheers.
Notts County on the weekend, Nick Cerullo will be back. Scott was saying that they hoped they'd sign him as well, jokingly, obviously. Would it be nice to see him back at the Broadfield as well?
Yeah, no, listen, I don't know if it's known, but Nick's my brother's best mate. They've grown up since the age of, 10 when they started secondary school together. So I remember seeing Nick in his dad's blazer at my brother's 12th birthday party, which I'm sure he won't mind me mentioning there. But yeah, I've seen Nick plenty of times since then, and we all know what qualities he's got as a player, and obviously what he done for this club over 4 or 5 years he was here. It was fantastic. Not only the promotion year, but the FA Cup runs, and he was a big part of it. So no doubt he's going to be a big part for Notts County at the moment, and we're going to have to stop him.
Cool, thank you. Good luck on Saturday.
Cool.
Clyde, welcome back. How's it been this first week back?
Yeah, it's been good. Nostalgic. How I remembered it. It's been good. We've had good weeks of training. And yeah, just there was time for me to gel with a few of the boys that I haven't played with and build some connections for the upcoming games.
So when you've played with those players, you see what sort of talent there is here. Are you surprised Crawley are where they are in the league and that?
Yeah, no, definitely, of course. Yeah, I've been I wouldn't say surprised because I did expect that we're gonna have good players in the building. So it's just about us, like I said again, gelling as a team and believing in everything with what the gaffer says, believing in ourselves, believing that the fans are gonna be there to back us, which they are, and I believe that there's gonna be positives that come out of this.
And were you delighted as well that Danny was coming back at the same time as you?
Yeah. We might have had a few messages prior to it. Not saying anything more than that, but yeah, of course I am. We had a good connection, obviously, during the playoff run and that season. I think we combined quite a few goals together and assisted each other. And more than, first and foremost, we got on as people as well. So yeah, no, I'm delighted that he's here too.
Yeah, and the fans as well. I don't know if you're on social media, but they were absolutely delighted that you were coming back. Some were upset that it wasn't permanent, but it must be nice to see the fans welcoming you back like they did.
Yeah, no, I've seen a few things. Mostly my mum would send me him. Yeah, I'm not really too much of a social media person, but yeah, no, I did see the reactions from the fans, and yeah, it means a lot. So it's time for me to repay it back to them on the pitch.
And do you, because there's a lot of, I just said the same to Danny, there's a lot of expectation now that the heroes of Wembley coming back, etc. Do you thrive on that kind of pressure?
Yeah, there's pressure with everything, but what really is pressure? For me, is I just want to come back, which I have, and just enjoy my football again and just win games. You know, so I'll do everything I can for the team, for the badge, for the manager, for the staff, for my teammates, for everyone. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
And yeah, how much are you looking forward to going out and being welcomed by those fans on Saturday?
Yeah,
it's going to be good, isn't it?
Yeah, it is going to be good. The only thing is that I've got to wait an extra day for it. But yeah, I can't wait for it. Looking forward to it, and it's going to be good.
Good luck Saturday.
Thank you.
In terms of your time at Peterborough, when in recent months you haven't had as much first team football, how are you feeling ahead of Saturday in terms of your fitness and sharpness?
Fitness and sharpness-wise, I feel good. I've been training hard. I've tried to keep myself in the best shape possible, considering I haven't played, like you said, as many minutes as I would have hoped or liked. Mentally, I'm good. I feel hungrier than ever. So yeah, in all aspects, I think I'm I'm good. I'm good to go.
And obviously, one of the games you did play for Peterborough was here in the Cup. Was that? Did you have any inkling when you came back that this might happen only a couple of months later?
It does go through your head because you do come back to something that you obviously enjoyed and made experiences and memories with. But to be perfectly honest, no, not really. But I'm happy about it, of course. So, yeah.
Cool. Thank you. Good luck on Saturday.
Thank you.